Hi there. Um, I want to once again welcome you to my channel, and I want to appreciate every one of you who's been reaching out, the ones who's been subscribing and sharing also. I appreciate that, and I like the fact that I am being of help to a lot of people. A lot of you have been sending me mails and writing, asking questions, and I feel happy to help because when I planned coming to Kuwait, I actually did look for people to ask questions and just to find viable answers to things that I had in my mind, but I didn't find any. My only saving grace was that I had an uncle in Kuwait, so it was easier for me. So when I got here, he gave me a very smooth, soft landing. All right, so that was it. But for some of you who the only link that you have is probably the agent who is bringing you in, and trust me, they may not fully tell you the whole truth. All right, they just gonna tell you, I don't know, but yeah, so that's why I'm putting out these informations. I feel like for people who are doing research, they should be able to find one of those videos helpful to them. Okay, that being said, today I want to talk about the things what I didn't know before I got into Kuwait. All right, so you see, before coming here, I had a plan. I had plans, I had thoughts in my head. I had the mind that I was coming to Kuwait to come make money. And what I didn't know, today I'll be sharing the terrible things I didn't know about Kuwait before coming in. So when I got in here, I had before coming anyways, I had a studio in Nigeria, a photography studio and a video, studio. I was into movies, into event coverage and all of that. So I thought if I come here, tops 1 year or 3 months or 6 months, I'm going to establish the studio. So I came in with my cameras and my tripod and a little of my equipment, just other ones I felt like I can buy here. So once I come here, I can set it up and run business maybe alongside my job. All right. So I had that hustling, that Niger hustling spirit. I was coming in here with that spirit. I said, more based on the fact that their currency is very high. So I had imagined that if I make money, do I do business here? When I get back home, when I get back to Nigeria, more they gonna see person don't enter. All right, and I know so many of you right now probably are sharing this kind of thoughts. You've gotten offer already. Some of you have gotten offer to come do delivery here. Some of you in different fields. And I know as a Nigerian person, you most likely be thinking, I'm going to hustle hard. I know so many of you be thinking that as a Nigerian guy. So if I come alongside the job you've gotten, you're going to, you know, top up your hustle and make more money. All right. So I'll be sharing things just for a guide again for you guys, for you to know what you're really getting into. All right. Our first shocker that I had when I got in here was that as an expat, as a foreigner, I couldn't do business in Kuwait except I have a Kuwaiti that I was going to partner with. So I couldn't run a personal business, like established business, right here. I have to have a Kuwaiti that will partner with me, and then he owns the company. I can't own the company, and he's going to have like 51%, and I will have 49%. And mind you, I'm going to be the one that will run the business. And that places a very huge limitations to the thought that I had to do business. So in case you're thinking once you come in here you're going to open business or you're going to do one or two things, I mean, legally now you can't until you have, a very good Kuwaiti that can partner with you. And I hear things about them. Most of them frustrate because we have some of our guys who are doing business with them, but a lot of them shared a very not so good experience. Right, I know of a guy. He's from Ghana, and he was doing so well. He had a good business, and I think the man that he was doing business with, who was elderly, I think he died, something like that. I don't know if this is he died, for to censor the word. So yeah, I the children refused to uh, release the business to the guy. Now, let me, for context, I want you to understand that when you open this business, you are now going to be under the sponsorship of that business because it's now your business, right? You can't be running in Kuwait, you can't have two jobs. So you can legally have two jobs. So if you do open a business, that means you're going to be under the sponsorship of that business. And because you do not have the highest share of the business, you are technically under the sponsorship of your partner, of the Kuwaiti that you're doing business with. So what happens is that every year you have to renew residency. That's one thing. Another terrible thing about Kuwait that I didn't like, renewal of residency every year. All right. So as long as the you are at the mercy of the Kuwaiti, and so many of them that are really doing this partnership thing with foreigners are somehow, I don't know what to call them, but it seemed like they are not very honest. So somehow, like one instance, one lady told me that the man would just come in any of the days that he needs money and say, give me money," and when she wasn't able to meet up with the man's demands, he closed the business. So that could happen to you, all right? So this other guy that is from Ghana, when the man died, the children refused to renew his residency, all right, claiming that the business belongs to their father and not the guy. So you see, that cost the guy the business, cost him all the effort that he put in into the business, all right? This is not to, again, discourage you in case you're thinking about doing that, because there are also ways that you can go about it. There are people who have successfully, like some ladies who have salon right here, and they are doing that kind of deals too. But this might take you a little while. It might not just be the first year or the second year that you came in, that you come in, that you'll be able to run that kind of stuff. You probably would, you probably would take a longer time for you to understand the theory, understand how you want to get involved into that before you can do it. All right, so that one terrible thing about Kuwait that I didn't know before coming. All right, it was when I got here that I knew that, hey, as an expert, as a foreigner, you couldn't do business. You can't open a legal business. However, you can do on a small scale, like on a private, if people do know that you do this thing. All right, some people know that I do photography because I let them know, like the black community. So I had, covered one wedding like that. I took my camera, so the guy knew. He's from Ghana. He knew. I told him, I showed him some of my work from Nigeria. So he was like, I have a wedding coming up. If you could just come, do video, let's see. So from there, you could just start getting small gigs on the side. All right. So I did that. So, but that's on a very low key. So all those side things. So I probably will share a video on some possible side gigs that you can do just to augment 1 or 2 days. All right. Another terrible thing that I got find out about Kuwait was that it doesn't matter how many years you've been in Kuwait. All right. The moment you lose your job, you are leaving the country. Otherwise, you'll be illegal. All right. It doesn't matter if you stay 10 years. As a matter of fact, some people have been here more than 10, 15 years. They don't have permanent residency. So they do not give permanent residency. And if you're coming in here, you should know that if you will never be a citizen, or you will never have permanent residency. All the Middle East, for all Asia countries, I think they do this. All right, it's very annoying because they go to the US and they get citizenship. They go to the UK, they get citizenship. They go to Canada, they get citizenship, but they don't allow foreigners come to their country and get citizenship. They don't allow foreigners get permanent residency. You get the point. So it was terrible for me. It's still terrible for me to have to, and the renewal process is usually not very smooth, especially when you're changing jobs, or when you have 1 or 2 issues. You probably lost a job and you're trying to get another job. you know it's not very smooth. It comes with lots of hiccups and lots of frustrations. Okay, to even watch people who have been here for a very long time have to go through the same stress every year to renew their papers and all of that. It's crazy. So I didn't like that. I never knew about that. So probably you should know these two. You coming here, you are mortgaging your life without a possible permanent resident outcome. Now, why is this important? For example, you could be here, and usually traveling out is not easy. So you could be here, and the first 1 year, 2 years, 3 years might not be easy for you. For some people who are coming in with some job offer like delivery, cleaning, and all those kind of jobs, you do know that in your thought it's just a means to get into the country. The first year, second year, you may not have enough savings. You may not be able to stabilize. But after your first 2 or 3 years, you can now change job and probably get a very good job. So this could be a career plan, or your plan for moving, or your plan wanting to come to Kuwait. This plan can be shattered by this process, because now you could have stayed here 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and at that point, anything that happens to your work or to your residency, you're going home. So that's not cool for me. All right, if you were in other European countries, or I don't know, I hope that is it's not the same with them, like Canada, like UK or America, or even Australia, even New Zealand. All right, even all other those continents and countries, after you've stayed for like 3 or 4 years, you have chances of fighting for permanent residency, something like that. That could really, at least, even if you've not stabilized, you could be getting a passport or citizenship, which is on its own an achievement. But you could be here 10 years, 8 years. A lot of our people are here 8 years, 10 years. They've got nothing. If anything's up now, they're going back home. All right. So that's terrible thing for me. And then the third terrible thing for me also was that you can't do 2 jobs. All right. So if you're thinking, okay, I want to come to Kuwait, I'm going to do delivery in the morning, then I'm going to do this, you cannot legally do 2 jobs. It's bad, because sometimes you have accommodation to take care of, you have lots of things to take care of, and if your earning is not so huge enough for savings, just need to top up your hustle, and get side gigs to be able to cater for some stuff. But the labor law does not allow anyone to do 2 jobs, so you can't even find it to do. Like, you can't find all these hourly job. Let's go do cleaning, let's go do what's it called, maybe caregiving, like hourly thing that you could just go and do little hustle and come back. So you can't find them, and if you don't have a job, you're going to be really really hungry because you can't find daily hustle that you want to do. All right. Teachers do have a little gig for teachers. That's why teaching is very lucrative somehow right here in Kuwait, because teachers somehow have tutors that they do to their students. So if you're a teacher in schools, you most likely will have some students that you do after school lessons, so you charge them per hour, and then they pay like about averagely about $30 per hour. Some, about 15 kd. 15 kd is around, for 1 hour 30 minutes of, so for 1 hour, 30 minutes you might be charging like 15 kd, and that's about $45. So $45 per hour. So in a week, if you have like 2 to 3 students that you have classes with, you most likely will be closing in with about $100 or more. Some people do earn more than that. I know people who make more money from tutoring than they make from their basic salary. Yeah. Also, I think cleaners somehow, but this has to come with connection. Like somebody has to recommend it to somebody who needs a cleaner to come clean their house. So on a private service, you could do that, and they earn averagely 10 kd, which is about $30 also for hour or for 2 hours, stuff like that. So, but it doesn't come often. But if you are into it, maybe you can still have more gigs, about that. Then other ones are really, like, there was one time someone wanted to introduce me to one daily hustle like that. It was They were going to pay me like $30 at about 8 kd. No, it's not even up to 10, about $24, 8 kd for a whole day, like a whole day, and it's construction work. It was tedious. So, and I wanted to even do it at the time because I didn't have a job, but the guy didn't come through for me to even do it. But I'm just saying, so it's always tighter for you to make more money. Despite that their currency is huge, it's not so easy to have more avenues of making money. All right. So this is just to give you an insight, just for you to understand where you're coming in. These were the terrible things I didn't know about Kuwait before I got in here. But then again, you do know that nothing I say is absolute. All right. This is based on my experience and based on the level of knowledge that I have. There might be people who have stayed here more than I have, and they probably have a better um, information or a better thing to share. So this is not a final thing in about Kuwait, but I'm just sharing based on my own experience and based on what the things that I know since I have been here. All right. So if you are in Kuwait and you're seeing this video and you think there are some things I said that is not 100% accurate, you could just comment so that other people will learn. Or if you feel you to add more to what I've said, please do happily put it down so that others can also have that information, even I too. So thank you guys. I feel like I have to stop here so that this video don't get too long. But if you find this helpful, please do share it to as many people that would love to listen to it. Like it, and of course subscribe to my channel so that we can gain more visibility to a lot of people who are making these researches online. All right, once again, I thank you if you watched up to this point, and I'm going to drop more videos that will help you as a guide for your travel journey. Take care now. Bye. Yeah.